Maximilian's done a couple of light coats. He's now going on a little bit thicker with it. And like most base coats, it won't really pop until the clear goes on. But it is definitely very, very cool. We're doing a fairly heavy coat now, last coat. Anyway, I'll let him get on with it. Alright, I believe Maximilian and Denny are going to go over the car to look for any minute imperfections, deal with that, and then give it one final heavy coat before doing the clear. Well, from what I can see right now, it's looking really good. It's a wild colour, although it changes colour quite a lot once the clear goes on. It becomes a lot brighter, obviously. Yeah, this is how we're doing the stripes. We've discovered that this paint has tremendous coverage, which means it probably hasn't got much filler in it. So we sprayed these panels first white, and then we're masking off our stripes, and then we're just going to go ahead and blow that in red, and pull the masking tape off, or the blue fine line off, and clear coat everything. Denny's nibbing the car just for its final coat of paint. So we're calling it a day today. And everything's prepped now to do one last medium drop coat and then the clear. But what we're going to do tomorrow, we're going to put the trunk lid, just lightly bolt the fenders on, and line everything up to do our drop coat, get all the consistency, and then hit everything with clear, and then the car's going to be painted. But it's all looking pretty nice. It all kind of looks, you know, it's kind of setting right now because There's no clear. But all the stripes are masked off. It's going to be wicked.
Yes, one coat.
So we're getting ready to do the main drop coat on this car. So that's why we put the trunk lid on and kind of laid everything in place so that the continuity between the fenders and the doors are perfect. But it looks, like I said in the earlier video, the density of this paint, which is a reason why it was probably so expensive, has incredibly good coverage. So even the parts that we've painted separately, the colour, well, the door's on an angle, so it's a little bit hard to see now because the light's reflecting differently. But it seems like the colour match is ever so good, even with the bits being painted separately. But as a lot of you know, especially when you do a metallic and stuff, you know, you want everything lined up as it's going to be on the car, so when you paint it, everything flows nicely together. But we're a little bit concerned that the colours might be quite different, but you know, a good few coats and everything's coming out the same colour. Anyway, it's almost ready to go. Right, I'm outside the booth now, and this is actually the most critical stage where everything's been de-dusted and de-greased and tack ragged really, really well for the final coats. So this is what really makes the car look good, and then hopefully there won't be any imperfections in this, and they can go ahead and put the clear coat on. Then he actually has a similar technique to myself when I spray a panel. So I guess I'm doing something right. So we're setting up the parts ready to clear coat, and you want to get your placement right. Now if you're painting the base coat and you've got small parts to paint before the main car, you actually want to work your way downwind and paint your parts towards the car, because what will happen is if you paint the car first and then your parts, the base coat becomes so dry as the dust drifts down. The dry coat will actually affect the base on the other parts. But with the clear coat, because it remains kind of sticky in the air for quite a long time, you actually almost want to start at the top, spray the main car with your clear, and then any clear coat overspray that's landed on the parts, the the clear coat's quite friendly to just fuse that into the panels, and you won't have an issue. So we're getting the bits ready for the clear coat, and we're gonna move the hood up to the front here and have it on the stand up front, and then we're just gonna work our way back, and then the overspray which has landed on these bits. This shop keeps pretty clear, but the overspray which lands on these parts, as you come back just 5-10 minutes after doing that, it'll just fuse right into it and work really well. And then yeah, I think Denny likes to put quite a lot of clear on his cars, like we do, and it gives you more room for sanding it down or trizacking it later to get your perfect finish. Anyway, it's coming along quite nicely. I mean, at the end of the day, to paint a car with absolutely zero imperfections in it is almost impossible, but we seem very happy with how it's all going. Yeah, like I said, sometimes there's tiny imperfections.
What imperfection?
And here we had quite a bad one, and it's pretty amazing that we've got it that good. Then he used a razor blade, put the tape on, used a razor blade, scraped off the red, and just got a tiny brush with the tape there, and just touched it in. Now once the clear coat's on there, it should look really good. But yeah, I mean, you're going to have little imperfections. Bled through the tape slightly there, but that's pretty nice. It's not easy to freehand tape something like that. Same way I did the orange one. The orange Camaro, which you've seen. Well, there was two ways to do these stripes. The way I did it on the orange Camaro, I did all my base coat, did the whole car orange, and then within the time frame I had, I masked off the white stripe, and then I sprayed it, pulled the masking off, and then I cleared the car. Well, on this one, we actually sprayed the panels just white first, without even really masking, and then we masked off the stripes and then did the red. So I think one of the reasons why we did that was because we were concerned about putting the white on top of the red, that could it become slightly pink, and we did not want pink stripes. Whereas I didn't really worry about that with the orange, because I got a slightly off-white anyway, and even if the orange did bleed through a little bit on my white stripes on the orange Camaro, it would have just made the off-white look a little bit more off, which would have been fine. But anyway, we did both of these cars the totally opposite way around, and looks like it worked out for us. This is when the car gets entombed. This is the point of no return.
Let's see how that lays out. It looks a little beauty. I'm using I'll test the lower spot. It isn't so crucial. It's actually colder metals in.
So what are we testing here, Denny?
Seeing how the clear lays out. Looking for action. You know how clear is it being standing on the edge, so maybe you can push you over and pick over so you really lay it on. You got a method of how you're going to paint this car. You're going to start on the firewall. You can work up to the dash.
Hit the roof.
When you come around those squares, let me try a little trick real quick.
Yeah, I like that idea. worries me otherwise, because basically we're gluing down any potential dust which is stuck in there, which there's always going to be some dust in places like that. He's being very sensible, like low pressure, get some in there and glue any dust down which is potentially in there. Makes a lot of sense. Little tricks that Denny's
Usually
showing us here.
Base coat, but the base coat's $3,000 a gallon, and the clear coat's only $400.
Yeah. And also the even with the base coat, it dries almost instantly, but at least the clear is a much stickier type substance. So he's doing the same thing in the back there. There's, you know, that's an area where we ended up blowing a little bit of dirt out there, because it's a crevice, and you know how it is. So very sensible. So before you start doing your serious clear, just with very low pressure, glue down any crevices basically that you've got. See, I'm going to have to watch this video next time I paint a car. I forget. I paint a car so infrequently that I have to really go back and look how I did it and be methodical about it, because I don't do it enough to be really 100% fluent with remembering everything I did. And there's definitely procedures to follow which can really help you out.
Let's watch, let's see how this fan works.
We can turn the fan up. So that's the first coat of clear, and we might actually end up putting like 6 coats of clear on there. And then because we plan to wet sand and Trizac this car to get a mirror type finish. What a beautiful colour. It will be quite easy to fix that.
I'm glad you're happy with it.
I mean, that really is an amazing colour. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a colour quite like that. It's almost like kind of a dark cherry when you look down it, but where you're looking straight on it, it's bright red pearl. It's just really quite astonishing. So the plan for now is, we talked about variables that you have no control over. Now, overall, we're incredibly happy with how it's going, and really there isn't any bad points. But the reality is that with a show car, you generally will have to block sand the car after you've clear coated it, and then give it some more coats of clear coat to get it really perfect. And although we joked about this being the perfect paint booth, we did get quite a lot of fine dust in some of the paint, and which is kind of expected. And we really didn't do the cleaning of the garage we should have done. But as you can see, I mean, the paint job is amazing. So overall, it's heading in the right direction. But we did get a little bit of pink in some of the white. So we're probably going to remask off the stripes and give them a couple of thin coats of white. And so what we'll do is we'll sand down the whole car with 800, block sand it, and then lightly DA it to get rid of any tram marks. And then we'll remask off the white, redo that, pull that off, and then we'll give it another few coats of clear to get that real show car finish we want. Because if you look, there are some, well, you can't really tell now because it's got some little bugs on it. That's just sitting on it because it's sitting here. But there are some tiny little flecks of dust in it here and there. And like I said, it's not uncommon on a show car to, once you get it to this stage, block sand it again, and then give it its final coats of clear. And then block sand it again, and then go finer and finer with the sandpaper to the point where then you buff it and polish it, wax it. Well, you don't wax it until for a couple of months, so that all the chemicals come out of the paint and it cures correctly. Anyway, so what we're planning to do is we're going to, Maximilian has got a proper booth, but it was a little bit small where we couldn't open the doors and stuff, so that's why we, and we couldn't lay out all the bits in one place, so that's why we decided to do the first initial in here. But he's going to explicitly clean his booth, and then we'll pull all the pieces over there, do everything we need to do to them, and then pull the car over there and do what we need to do to that. But as you can see, the color is pretty astonishing. But this was actually the worst piece, where somehow we got this, I think some of the candy must have been in the air or something, because it got in the white stripe. But it happens, and overall it's going according to plan. Anyway, it's just an amazing colour, it really is. Almost goes black, like down the sides, and then as you come onto it head on, it's just this vibrant red. Anyway, the trials and tribulations of doing an amazing paint job. It's a lot of work.